Hey, Jason.
Hey John, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
What are you guys doing out
Oh,
here?
we're doing an inspection on this tree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful tree.
Oh, it's a beautiful tree.
What's wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. There's a couple little things here and there, but we're just doing a general checkup on the tree.
Yeah? It's healthy?
Relatively healthy, yeah.
Good. You know, I think I saw these same guys over in my neighborhood doing some work.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. These guys get around.
Yeah? How many trees do you guys maintain?
Hey Brett, how many trees do we have?
We got about 20,568 trees that we maintain.
Wow. That's an awful lot of trees. How do you guys keep track of all of those trees?
Well, we'll have to ask Andy about that in our GIS department.
I'm Andy from City of Cupertino's GIS department. And what I want to do today is take you through a couple applications that the city uses to help manage and maintain our urban forest. The first one we're going to talk about is CityWorks. CityWorks is our asset management software. And this software allows for us to make work orders, service requests, inspections on all of the trees in our GIS database. Why this is useful, this helps our tree division manage all assets in one spot, right? The other nice piece of this is that all of our other public works staff is also using CityWorks. So it's a huge tool and benefit to be able to have all of our divisions on one platform, and they can all talk to each other through the platform. And it's really been a huge benefit to managing all of the assets within the city as a whole. Moving into why that's important and why the maintenance and the maintenance history is important is another really cool application that we have for you. So with that, we move into Tree Plotter. Tree Plotter here is actually an application that we have built with all of our GIS assets that you can see on the map over here. But we've also combined it with the power of the data from CityWorks and also something called an iTree analysis, which gives you all of these benefits from the urban forest as a whole. Not only is it the urban forest as a whole, but you can also look at your individual trees in front of your house or at a park. You can see what those trees add to the urban forest as a whole. So with that, let's kind of go into Tree Plotter. I want to show you around and show you what you have here. So couple cool things. You could come on here and you can just click find your tree, type in an address, and that'll search. Right here's our address for City Hall. We could do a search. I actually have to type it in though. And we can look at all of these trees here at City Hall. So with that, you can come in here, you could type in your address, and you could easily find your tree. The eco benefits, this is going to be a dashboard that gives you all of the different eco benefits for the urban forest as a whole, right? So stormwater monetary benefit, runoff prevention, property value total, energy savings, air quality monetary benefit, and carbon monetary benefit. There's an algorithm in the back end of this that basically takes the tree's dimensions and the height, all of that information, and it calculates all of this information for us. So it's taking the urban forest as a whole, all of our trees. What does that mean? That means 20,568 trees that Cupertino is responsible for. I believe that they just told you we have about 17,000 trees that street trees that are maintained by the street tree division. But we also have trees in parks, and we also have trees in parking lots, in different right-of-way areas that are maintained by those divisions as well. So it's not just the street trees per se, but it's all of the trees that make up the urban forest. Couple other pieces here. We have a tree plotter canopy tool. The great thing about this is all of these tools have how-to videos on how to check them out, how to use them, and then you can also just click the button here to launch the tool. We go ahead and launch this one. And I do work in the GIS department, so I'm not going to pretend that I know what all of this information means, but what I can tell you is that all of this information is updated on a regular basis, and by all of the information that our staff is putting into CityWorks and updating our assets and creating work orders and service requests, it really affects this entire application and gives you the most valuable information about all of the urban forests. So this is this just shows the canopy cover based off of maps, and then it's all broken into different blocks along the city. So we'll go back to our home tab. Our home tab's always going to take us back here to our landing page. And then also just to learn a little bit more about our Cupertino's urban forest and tree division, we have a little blurb here about that. So with that, what we can do is we can get into the map. So a couple cool aspects of the map. You can move around. Always start with the legend. It's going to kind of tell you what we're looking at, right? All of these different colors. It's going to give you a good example of what we're looking at here. So right now we're filtered all by species, and you can see the display, but you can also change by maintenance zone or DBH, or also maintenance year. So these are all super useful to be able to see if maybe the next time that your tree is going to be trimmed, what maintenance cycle it's in, what maintenance year it's going to be trimmed. Or also if you just want to know, if you know the species or you want to know the species, it's also some valuable information. So right now we're going to leave it on species because I'm going to look for a specific species as we go. Now, a fun fact here is that, a lot of people have seen those green tags on the tree out in the right-of-way strips. And many people don't really understand or know that the green tree tags, that QR code will bring you right into this application. Not only will it bring you right into this application, but if you scan it from a specific tree, it will pull up that specific tree in this application. So that's what's great. If we're over here on, we'll say Barnhart Avenue, and we have if we were standing on this corner over here, and we went to go scan this QR code, it would pull up this exact tree when this application loaded. So what it does is, since all of our trees are in a GIS database, they have an XY coordinate associated with them. And what happens is when you scan that QR code, it'll take the XY coordinates from your phone and then match it with the closest tree in our database. So this takes us into the next piece, right? What are we seeing when this pop-up pops up in the application? So the first piece is the asset ID. Every single tree in our database has a unique asset ID. So this number right here is a great number to reference if you ever need to call our tree department and talk about this specific tree. You can give us this number and it's going to be the only tree in the city with that number. And it's going to be very easy for us to look this tree up and find out any information necessary about it. The next piece we're going to go into is the common name. This is what these trees are commonly called, the Modesto ash. It's going to give you the height, the diameter of the canopy, the plant date if we have it. We've only had CityWorks and an extensive GIS database for about 10 years. So over the last 10 years, any trees that we've planted, we have that plant date. But some of these trees that are much older and have been here for 30, 40 years, we don't have that exact plant date. So that's why you may see this blank in some cases. The last inspected date. So this is the last time that an inspection in City Works has been performed on this tree. You'll see that date filled out there. DBH is going to be the diameter at breast height. And that's just what that number references there. Now this right here is the species bio. And this is really cool. This was a great addition that we had to this. By clicking here, we will actually go to a whole new page that will take us just on Modesto ashes. So this will give you all of the characteristics and species information for that tree. Now, that's really the great thing about this is every single species has one of these that's in our database. So you can click on that and it'll take you in. If you want to learn more about the tree that's out front of your house, or you want, you just want more information, you can go click there, and that's a great resource for you. Lastly, I just want to go into these couple buttons down here. The first one we have as we hover over this is eco benefits. So we can open this up, and this is going to give us some of the eco benefits for just this tree alone, right? So if you want to look at the eco benefits for the trees on your property or out front of your property, this is a great place to go. You have street view. This is going to give you a street view look of the tree. Also, a great resource to make sure that, if you're looking at this on a computer, make sure you're looking at the right tree, right? Make sure it's out front of the property you're looking at. This links, if you want to share this information, you can share it to your social media. And then this is an awesome piece here. This is our work history. So this is going to show you that all of the work orders that have been here. This is going to be a list of all of the work orders down below. So the type of work, the status of that work. It's going to give you that tree ID, which we've already had, when that work was completed, tree species. Yeah, so these are all this is the work history of the tree. And then up here, this is going to give you the next maintenance cycle. So this is the next time that the tree staff is going to be out to do a full trim on that tree and inspection. So with that, the last piece too here is our 3-in-1 tree service request. So this 3-in-1 button takes you to a custom form that we've built. It auto-populates all of that information from our dashboard or from our application. You can select what type of option or what type of issue this is, and you can easily create a 3-in-1 ticket that will go directly to our tree department for any issues of trees that you may find out in the right of way. So, with that, I'm going to throw it back to you guys out in the field. That's all I got from in here.
Wow, Andy, that was some great information. Thank you for that. So, you guys inspect the trees every year?
Well, let's ask Jared about that.
No, we actually only inspect the trees while we're performing work on them. Right now, the city's on about a 7-year pruning cycle.
7 years, wow. What do you look for when you inspect the trees?
Just any weak attachment points, visible decay, and general health of the tree. We always start our inspections from the base of the tree and then work our way up into the canopy.
Oh, I know there's a lot of benefits for trees, today being Arbor Day and all. What can you tell me about the benefits of the trees?
Well, they provide habitat for our local wildlife. They calm traffic, they encourage business, they just beautify our surrounding area, they reduce crime, so many benefits to our local trees.
Wow. Thank you and your whole crew for all the hard work you do taking care of the trees in Cupertino.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.